Hello everyone, it is Matt and Rob, and we're here with another poolside repair up in rural and lovely DeLand, Florida. We're here with Mindy. She's going to be putting in a pool, or exactly an above ground pool in her backyard. Mindy, why did you want to put an above ground pool in your backyard?
Well, with it being Florida and having 4 children, you never know when it's going to rain, so you never know when it's going to get rained out at the beach. So you may as well have something in your backyard to entertain the kids with.
Yeah, and it keeps them tired.
Yeah. An above ground pool is a great economical choice over building an in-ground pool, which could cost $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. For a fraction of that, you can have an above ground pool and enjoy all the benefits.
Yeah, and I think it's time for us to head on back, talk to Dan Dower, our above ground pool specialist. Let's go. Okay, we're here in the backyard with Mindy and Rob. He had to show up.
Yeah.
And also Dan, our above ground pool specialist. Now, we haven't started yet. First thing you need to do is prep the site and also figure out where you're going to put your pool. What kind of things do you have to, what goes into figuring out where you're going to put your pool?
I would say generally have it in an open area. Because the water will be warmer, but you'll have less debris falling in. So.
And then you have, not only have to worry about the tops of the trees, you have to worry about the bottom. How far away from a tree should you probably put a pool?
Again, it's best to not be completely over. Like if you can stay away from anything being completely, any branches being completely over the water line. So like here you see the branches ends about right here. So ideally, if you from here away, that'd be perfect. As opposed to where you're standing, that would be bad.
Never go where I'm standing. That's a number one rule of in-yo pools.
Yeah.
A danger follows me.
Yeah. And then other things are where the pool goes, having room all the way around the pool. Some people like to tuck their pool like in a corner for some reason. They want to keep their yard the way it was, but it's a pool. It's going to take up a lot of room. So you think about, the lawnmower going around it, making sure there's enough room.
So I'm gonna go ahead and guess you've already figured out where you want to put your pool, because I see the very natural looking palm frond sticking out of the ground.
Yeah.
We're in Florida, it doesn't naturally grow that way. So we're gonna head on over.
Okay, so this is where the center of the pool is?
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'm gonna show you where the pool would be based on this center.
And to give you a reminder, it's a 24-foot round, so you're going to go with radius, which is, just divided by 2. That's going to be 12.
So this is the easiest and best way to tell. Okay, so this is 12 feet. So this is approximately where the pool would go. Give you an idea. Yes, looks good?
Looks perfect.
Okay.
So once you've planned out the radius and you kind of see that everything is going to be in the right spot, then you're just going to mark it with some just basic spray paint, or is that any kind of special paint?
Nope, no, it's special if you want it to be. But,
The magic spray.
but I buy the 99-cent can from Home Depot.
Good choice.
Yeah,
Classic.
And then for any size pool, you want to go out a foot bigger.
Okay.
And you want to level a bigger area. You can't level the pool just based on its exact size. You want to come out and have room.
So if you have a 24-foot round, radius is going to be 12. You have an over dig of 1 foot, so you want to do just 13 feet all the way around.
That's right, which makes it a 26-foot circle.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to do that.
I don't want to hurt my shoes, so I'll get out of the way for you, Dan.
Yeah.
At this point, after you've drawn the circle, what needs to be done? Just start digging?
At this point, you've got grass, and you don't want grass. You want anything underneath where the pool's going to go. So you have to remove it. You have to get it out of the circle.
Okay, but we'll let you to it. I'm going to go sit in my chair because the talent doesn't do things like that.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so Dan's used the sod cutter and he's chopped up this entire area for the pool. And now he's going to take a shovel and remove the grass from the area.
All right, Dan, so we got the grass up, we're down to bare ground. What's the next step?
Okay, well, I mean, you could see I brought a tractor in to remove the grass. That's all I did. I ran into some rocks, so I have, that's a concern of mine. And but I have to get it more level than this. So I'm going to rake it out. I'm going to hand rake it out to get it level. I want to get it level to within at least 3 inches before I lay the track down, and then level beyond that. So I just have to get the highs and the lows and pick the rocks up, and that's what I'm doing. Okay, so I got the ground level to within 3 inches or less for this stage. Doesn't mean that the pool is going to be off 3 inches. It just means that for this stage, I want it to be at least within 3 inches. Now I found the center of that 26-foot circle that I cleared out. I found the center of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mark out where the bottom track of the pool is going to go. So I'm going to go out 12 feet and make a groove. So. Okay, I've got my circle. So now we're going to lay the track right next to this. So. Okay, so the pieces of the track have been laid out, so now we're going to put them together. And this particular model, the track goes together in this connector plate, and there's little dimples here. The track goes right up to the dimples. Okay, so just like so. This part of building an above ground pool is kind of tricky because the track, where the track comes together, all the different models, they all have different gaps. In other words, the gap could be in closer. If it wasn't for these two nipples that are keeping it from going further, it could go beyond, and they could look like this. On other tracks, they could be closer together. And that's important because the gap, each gap, how closed or open it is, tells you how long, how big this pool is, how wide it is. And so you have to get that right. In this case, you're supposed to put it right where they say on these nipples, so that should be the right distance. Just because it's a 24-foot pool doesn't mean that the pool is exactly 24 feet across. So you just, every model is different. Every model is a little bigger or a little smaller than a 24-foot. So you just kind of, if you don't know the model, kind of make it as close to 24 feet as you can. It's important for the pool to be round at this point, more so than anything. Okay, that's good. That's good. Round a little. Okay. Go out a little bit. All right. Pool. Now the bottom rail of the pool is round. It's a round shape because we just made it round, and it's set in place by these blocks Just about every video I've ever seen online has you now remove the track and then level the blocks with the track not here, which is stupid. So we're going to level the track now. Okay, I'll show you how we do it. Okay. I'm going to use this 4-foot level, and I'm going to level the track. I mean, most people level the blocks, which is not as accurate as just leveling the track. So I'm going to start anywhere I want, and let's put the level against the track here, and I read it, and then I'll take the level and I'll use it to get the track out of the way, and dig it down into the ground a little bit. And I'm going to set the block kind of in the middle of where the track runs, because if I set it with the connector, it's better later if I set it centered with the track. I'll explain it later. Okay, so I've got the first one. I'm going to look at my level. I'm going to put this where I think I need it. Okay, now I got 2 blocks. I'm going to see how level it is from one to the other. It looks pretty good. You want to try to get it pretty exact, okay, because it's going to change. All right. Also, when you do it this way, you don't want this part of the track right now is setting on the ground, so I'm not sure whether this part of the track is a little higher than the 2 ends. So I want to make sure and dig out any dirt that's underneath the track. Okay, so now I know that this portion of the track is sitting on these 2 blocks. There's no dirt underneath here. Okay, now I'm going to check it, it's level, and then now I move on to the next one, and so on and so on. Okay, so I've leveled the track all the way around. Okay, so when you level with this level, you go here. So this is your first reference point, and you get it level, okay? But that doesn't continue to be your reference point. Then you have a new reference point, and you level off of it. And that's why you want to get it as perfect as you can, because as you go around, you're using a different reference point every time, which means you may be getting off slightly. So when you come all the way around back to the original and you level the last one, and you put it on there, it may read that it's way off because you were just a little bit off as you went along the way. So you have to keep that in mind. When you're done, you come around to the last one. You know, it may be off, and you may have to adjust it. You may have to go back and adjust them. A lot of people will, before they even lay the track down, they'll get like a big stick and they'll get a 2x4 and they'll spend all this time leveling this earth before they lay the track down. And it's not a total waste of time, but it's a waste of time. So now that the track is level, what I can do now is I can level this earth based on the level of the track, which is going to be a lot more accurate than doing it beforehand, before you knew where the track was. So I'm going to do that now. So now I've moved the earth level in reference to the track all the way around. It's not completely level. So now I'm just going to continue. I mean, it's not even close to what it's going to be, but it's a lot closer than it was. So I'm just going to take a longer point of reference now and try to make it even more level. Ideally, maybe I want the bottom to be just have a little bit of a dish to it, And then that way it might be easier to maintain the pool if the center of the pool is just a little lower than on the sides and it tapers down just the way so the debris would go to the center. But yeah, that's next. I'm going to make it smoother. Next is rolling the wall, which is definitely the fun part.
Fun and the
fun.
easy part, right? It's easy,
Yeah,
totally easy.
Yeah, it's the fun part. It's the part where if you have friends, have them help you.
Yes, and it's a little bit of pizza, a little bit of beer, probably helps out.
Beer afterwards.
Yes.
Beer afterwards, absolutely beer afterwards. And but yeah, it's fun. One of the things I want to say is back to where those gaps were on the track. This track is now a specific length, right? Just like that wall. That wall is all one piece. So it's a specific length. So hopefully this track is the correct length with the length of the wall. If it is, you'll see the wall will come around and it'll connect perfectly. If the track is a little wider, a little bigger than the wall, then then the wall is going to be a little short and I'm going to have to work it in.
Okay.
And if the track's a little short, then the wall's going to overlap and I'm going to have to bring out the track a little bit. So you'll see that's the fun part.
Yeah.
That and the wind is when we leveled these blocks, we leveled them all exactly the same. We leveled them all perfectly aligned with the track. So there should be just as much block in front of the track as there is in back of the track. That way, if there's a problem and I need to make the gap bigger, because if you make the gap bigger, it comes out a little bit, right? Okay, let's say I have to make the gap bigger. Now, I can bring it out a little bit and I'm still on my block and I'm still level, okay? Same thing if I have to bring it in more, I'm still on my block. Okay. Hopefully I won't have to do anything. Hopefully it'll just stay like that, but usually no. Usually I have to adjust it because above ground pools are not Swiss watches. I mean, they are not, there's nothing perfect about them. You have to make them fit.
Yeah.
Even when you spend a lot of money on one, they're not perfect, but.
So, well, I'll get out of your hair and let's do this.
All right. All right, so this pool gets the foam cove, which is cool, which is nice. It goes along the bottom inside of the pool, and it replaces just using dirt, just using earth. You know, normally you would just gather earth up against the wall like that, clamp it in all the way around, and that would be your cove normally. But so this replaces that. So this is just it's super easy to install. You unstick it and you fit it down in here like that, all the way around. But before you do that, you don't have to, but I make sure that the underneath the earth right here is nice and firm. So I kind of smooth it out, and then I tamp it all the way around. I tamp it, and then I'll go back later and I'll re-smooth it right to the top of the track. After it's been tamped, and I'll do that all the way around, of course, and then I'll take this piece and all the pieces like it. Apply it just like so all the way around. I'm almost done. The ground is completely level. I put down a nutgrass killer to stop nutgrass from growing through the liner. And I'm going to put the pad down next. The pad goes down right before the liner goes down. And the pad is pretty good. It's especially good for this pool because this pool had a lot of rocks. It still has a lot of rocks in it. I got most of them out. What's left you probably won't feel. But the pad's next. I spread it out as best I can, but you can't get the wrinkles out of the pad. You can out of the liner, but not the pad, so I'm going to do that now. So the liner is on the wall now, and it's set in place, but I got to get the wrinkles out of the bottom. So the way that I do that is I start in the middle, and I work a small circle and make the circle bigger and bigger, pulling the liner toward the wall until the circle gets so big it reaches the wall, and then there'll be no wrinkles in the bottom of the liner. I'll show you that now. Now that I've worked all the wrinkles out to the ends of the, toward the pool wall everywhere, you can see there's no wrinkles. You don't have to do a whole lot because the liner should be smaller than the pool, which means so as the pool fills up, the liner should push into the wall, and then there'll be no wrinkles. So if you can, I'm not sure if you can see, but like over here, so it's got a. The liner is clearly smaller than the pool is, so it'll stretch in place, and it'll be, you know, it'll be perfect. I'm going to make the holes for the skimmer and the return now. And normally I would say, well, not normally, always, I would say as a homeowner, let the pool fill up to about halfway full and then get back in the pool and put this and make these cuts. But I'm not going to be here, so I'm going to do it now. And but I don't advise doing it the way that I'm going to do it because you could screw it up. So, but I put my foot. You see the liner is way far away from the pool, from the wall, and you know eventually the water will put the liner right in place. But since I'm in a hurry, I'm going to put my foot where I think the liner will end up, and then make my hole. And so that's how I do it. Now that I got the ring in place, that's when you cut the liner. You don't cut it beforehand, so I don't even have to worry at this point about putting my foot here. It is in place right here. If I made a mistake, it won't matter whether I cut this or not. So for that. Okay, so I've got my foot on the inside. I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to poke it through where I can see it on the outside, and then I'm going to make a star cut right where it's, see, I'm indented here. I don't know if you can see that, hopefully. I'm just going to make a slice like a star. Okay, and then I'm going to push it through. Now it's pushed through. It's got excess liner all the way around. I'm going to cut not too close, but somewhat close, the excess off. Okay. And then from here, I put the gasket on the outside ring. And you'll need one of these, a big wrench. And you want to get it pretty tight. I mean, not crazy tight, but tight. Okay.
All right, so it looks like the pool's pretty much up. We have the walls up, liners in, liner pad, skimmer, pump and filter, everything's good to go. We're just filling it up with water. That's gonna take about, 24, 48 hours. So we're gonna hold off and come back in a couple of days just to see the final product. But everything looks pretty good. Are you happy with the job?
Yeah, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
All right,
Yep, came out good.
all right,
that
well,
matters.
well,
As long as Dan's happy, we're good.
yeah, well, that's pretty much all we need. We'll be coming back in a couple of days, and Mindy will be over here to see, just to make sure that she likes the job.
Yeah.
She better like it. All right.
All right, we're back out here at Mindy's pool about a week after the installation. The water's filled up. We just wanted to see how the pool is treating you.
Great. Kids are in it every chance they get.
Yeah, can't keep them out?
Nope.
All right, it's great. That's what we want to hear.
So that pretty much wraps up our above ground pool install. Please subscribe and like our page, and stay tuned for more poolside repairs coming up.